In this video, we'll showcase a brand new strategy plus a tool that you can use to automate it, and even the new indicator as well, which if you do have the former Jewel Light package, you will get for free. And I want to show you how to use it in this video. And if you're thinking about it, I want to show you, well, what it essentially looks like. So first things first, let's jump into the chart view right here. And I do want to show you the strategy itself. It's a 5-minute based strategy, and it has been backtested over the past 4 years and 2 months. Now, I'm going to get rid of my face here so that you can see the beginning of it, and I just need to find where my damn video thingy is. There it is. Found it. Boom. And as you can see, it's traded 448 times in the past 4 years. So actually not that much, about 100 trades per year. But those trades are, well, as you can see, not bad. I do like the overall up and to the right of this curve. And ultimately, whenever it comes to one of these strategies, especially on the lower term timeframes, we do typically, what's it called? We have a give and a take between percent profitable and of course your profit factor. So in this case, this one has a percent profitable or a win rate of 65% and a profit factor of about 1.25. So ultimately, I do believe that this strategy can probably be iterated upon, but I wanted to present it as sort of like a base template that you can use yourself as well. I'll show you exactly how to use it. And it utilizes the new Krown VMP indicator, which is essentially an offshoot of the Krown Jewel Light. So it has added functionality. And again, if you already got this package before, you're just going to get this one updated. All you have to do is just press enter on your, or sorry, you won't have to press enter, but you'll have to first delete it from your charts, then re-add it under the Krown VMP. And it will come with, of course, the Jewel Light as you saw it before in this background right here. That would be the same one. And then this added functionality, which I have represented it as a histogram, which is a percentile function. Then there's actually another function on top of that. It's a filter function, but I don't want to focus on that on this particular video because this one's focused on the percentile function, as that's the new thing with it. So I'm going to get rid of the Jewel Light in the background right there, and we can now go over the tool in which you can use to automate it, both to automate trade execution and even the backtesting feature. And you can really play around and mix and match with any strategy that you might be considering in your mind. The only constraint is that it is constrained by the indicators that you have access to on TradingView. So that's going to be the Krown Quant skeleton key over here. It's named in the description below as the Krown Quant automation, and basically it encompasses all of these things anyways. Like, it'll give you access to the Krown VMP. So in this case, what are we going to be using? Well, we're going to be using the PMARP, and we're going to be using the Krown VMP as our bases for creating this strategy. And the inputs here are pretty simple. We're going to be only trading on the long side. And what we want to do over here is we're going to have a threshold indication for the Krown VMP Jewel P. So that would be the percentile function on this one. We need to see that either less than or equal to 2. So very, very low percentile. That means that essentially the volatility and momentum as spit out by that indicator is, well, only greater than 2% of the look back. So it's very, very low relatively speaking. And so what we're looking to do is we're looking to capture these overall low reads in a general uptrend, and then sell it when, it gets a little bit higher. So when does it get higher? Well, over here, when the Jewel P, or the Jewel percentile, if you want to call it that, gets above or equal to 95 percentile, we exit. Or we'll have another condition over here with the PMARP signal line being above 75 percentile. So if one of those two conditions are met, we exit. And if these two conditions over here are present, we enter. So the first one we already went over, the Krown VMP needs to be below or equal to 2. And then the second one is that the PMARP signal line, so the moving average on the PMARP, must be less than 21. So it's pretty simple in its base format. Other than that, what do we need to do in order to make this one worthy? Well, we need to make sure that we're only trending on a relatively general uptrend. So we're going to have a higher term time frame trend, which essentially just looks at the 21 and 55 exponential moving average and which direction they're crossed in. And if the 30-minute time frame is crossed to the upside direction, it's game on for us, and we will take those signals as they come. So I've enabled that right there. Other than that, it trades every day but Thursday and Sunday, and well, doesn't trade, like I said, that often, but when it does, it's decent. And you have to be asking yourself, or at least I would want to be asking myself, what's the opportunity cost right here? Because I think a lot of people will say, well, why wouldn't you just hold over these past 4 years? You could have made potentially more. And fair enough, you could. But that's the beauty. Oh my God, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of trading inverse perps like we have here on Bybit. So Bybit does offer inverse perpetuals, which means that you use Bitcoin or whatever your underlying preferred equity is as collateral. So when you're using Bitcoin as your collateral to put on margin trades, you are, one, holding Bitcoin, and two, you are now trading Bitcoin. So you're getting more profit in Bitcoin, and your Bitcoin as equity is and margin is going up as well. So you're actually getting the benefit of both. So long term, I do like something like this, as just kind of takes the edge off, especially in a market that's generally to the upside. You don't really want to be like, you want to erase feelings of FOMO whenever you can, and the best way to do that is to hold the underlying, typically. Again, that's really only if you're like a long-term believer. Of course, if you're not, then just trade the whatever USD derivative is particular to you, or whatever fiat currency is particular to you. It's your choice, obviously. But of course, if you are long-term biased towards Bitcoin going up, and you plan on holding it for the long term, well, that'd make most sense to me. Anyways, so yeah, we've gone over the strategy here. We've gone over the results. We can go over a little bit more in the performance summary, just kind of seeing what this one's done. Keep in mind that these numbers, or sorry, not these numbers, but the percentages are based off of the starting equity on this simulation, which is 500,000. So that is not going to be like super particular. What I'm saying is that it's not that important. What's important is the nominal numbers. Anyways, the one that I'd like to get to is, well, the average winning trade and the average losing trade. And so this one does have a higher win rate than loss rate, obviously. And so the average winning trade is actually just around spot 88%, and the average losing trade is just above 131. So it does benefit from a higher win rate. But when it does lose, it takes a bigger loss. So what does that tell us? Well, if you're looking to optimize something like this, which you certainly can either by yourself or with this tool, a good place to start would be optimizing the risk management. If you can even bring the average losing trade down by spot 0.1%, that's going to have big results long term, of course. So keep that in mind. And then it also does keep you in some of these bigger trades as well. I mean, the largest winning trade was just under 12%, which is kind of crazy. Also, the average amount of bars in trades, this is something to be paying attention to as well. Sometimes it'll be a little bit longer than usual, or than you might be expecting. So something to just be aware of. Anyways, back into the overview right here and back onto the chart. I wanted to create this video mostly to let people know that if you already had the Jewel Light, it's going to change to the Krown VMP. So don't freak out when you see this change happen. It'll be happening, early March 2024. I haven't decided on the exact date yet, but when this video goes live, it'll be live as well. So if you do have access to the Jewel Light, all you have to do is just delete it on your chart, re-add it, and it'll be on a different name, of course, and you'll have access to this indicator. So there you go. And then, of course, the automation features right here with the Krown Quant skeleton key. That's just in the Krown Quant automation, as you can see in the description below. And actually, I'll run a discount for that as well. I think maybe like a month free would be good, just so you can try it out. And if you're successful, then well, then you get a taste of it, and you can decide for yourself if it's relevant for you or not. Obviously, you can also just execute strategies like this by hand. Fair enough. It's really up to you. So, at the end of the day, this is something that can be built upon, but it's a good starting place, a good sort of cookie cutter strategy that you can iterate upon and create as your own, or just use it as it is. And of course, when you do get into Krown Quant automation, you get access to, this strategy plus many, many other ones across different markets. You get traditional markets. So we'll post strategies for like NQ or SPY, these sort of things, even some individualistic stocks. And then of course, the big cryptos like Bitcoin, Ethereum typically is what we're focused on. So there you go. I think that's a good place maybe leaving off on this particular video. Just letting you know about some updates, letting you know about a new strategy, and hopefully that was in some way helpful. I'll be posting more strategies like this in the future. So if you're interested in just, check back, I don't know, maybe every week or two, I'll have a new one and we'll take it from there. Actually, this would be a good time for me to say that if you are interested in this, or if you're interested in just in strategies in general, what sort of strategies would you be interested in, like based upon, because that can give me some direction in how to build them. Of course, have to be realistic. Like 100% win rate strategy is like, you could probably build one, but it's gonna have like one trade. It's not gonna be that helpful. So it has to be somewhat reasonable. But I'll leave it right there. As always, I want to wish you the best. Take care. Much love. See you hopefully tomorrow.